Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today's video, we must bring the positive to the negative. Let's talk about what this means. This is so important to understand because we're moving backwards, so to speak. You know, it's like Tai Chi. If you start in your arms and then move to your legs, you're going to move backwards. It's never going to work. You got to come from the legs into the body and through the arms. And it's the same thing with our life. What we're doing is we're trying to change the negative into a positive. We're trying to right the wrong. We're trying to change our life into something else. And this is not how the universe works, so it's never going to work. So let's talk about how this works, because I've learned in my life the most important thing is to understand how the heck all of this works. We have no instruction manual, and we get very confused on how this universe operates. So throughout my journey and my exploration and my evolution spiritually, one of the bigger things that came through is the understanding and truth of how energy works. And energy and spirit is the same thing. So we can't take something that was wrong and make it right. It's never going to work, because negative and positive are in two different places. You cannot change a negative into positive, and you cannot change a positive into negative. All we can do is see them both and then bring them together, and they will become one. See, the Taoists kind of understood this a long, long time ago when they knew there was what you call the Wu Ji, or the Tao. The Tao is that one full circle, everything moving in one direction. The one, the all that is. That which has no opposite. But in the midst of all this chaos, they realized the only issue they were having were all the opposites that they were seeing. So they created this idea, or understood this idea, or received the idea that there were opposites in this world. And that's where the yin and yang came from. This idea of opposites that were pushing against each other everywhere they looked. But the law of nature was that opposites feed each other back into the one. So now we have things that are missing. If you look at negative, we talk about this a lot. What's negative? Negative means something missing. Maybe something was taken away from you in your life, or you felt like you lost something, or you don't have something. And I recommend really pondering this idea of what are you missing, right? What's not there? Now, then you have the positive, which is what you want, where you want to be. These different ideas of yourself, whether if it's money or abundance or health or wellness, or even just wisdom or understanding. So you have kind of two parts here. One that feels like it doesn't have understanding, doesn't have wisdom. Man, this life has been crazy. I've really lost and I've really made mistakes. And then, of course, what we see over here with ourselves, we're going to see in our brothers and sisters. You have to. So we look out in the world and we see things missing. We see things a mess, and we see things chaotic. That would be the negative side. Now, that side cannot exist without the positive side. But the positive side we can't see. It seems to be invisible. Dave, I don't know. I can't find anything positive in that. Look at all the issues. Look at all the problems. Look at the things not coming. Look at what happened here. Does that make sense? We split them right down the middle. Positive one side that you can't see, that's invisible, doesn't seem to be there. And the negative that's very prevalent right there in front of you, coming back, reinforcing itself over and over and over. So we say, this is my world, and this is the world out there, and this is what's going on, and look at the gas prices, and look at my body. You see, and we say, I need to change it. You feel it? I need to change this world into this one. And that's not possible. It's not possible. It's not how the world works. See, these need to exist, both of them. And the only way to change this world at all, this negative idea, is to understand the biggest thing. This is it. You ready? Is that when you see only negative and you see things missing and you see things not working out right, the first thing, only way, is to recognize you're seeing it incomplete. You're seeing it wrong. You are not seeing the whole picture. That has to be seen first. I'm seeing this wrong because I'm seeing it incomplete. I'm seeing half. That is the only way. Otherwise, the mind will take you in there like quicksand and pull you in. And it will convince you that you've got to change it. You will take your past apart. You will create new futures to try to fix things and try to make them better. And any way you look at it, you're taking a negative and trying to turn it into a positive. Yeshua would talk about in the Course in Miracles, that's magic. There's no such thing as magic. You cannot take one thing and turn it into another. Does that make sense? Can you see how that's happening? And then we punish for it happening. Man, I can't believe that happened. Now I got to punish it. Either I got to feel guilty or I got to blame. That's punishment. Pushing against yourself, pushing against your brothers and sisters. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that is happening. And now our focus is upon all of these problems. And we don't even realize it. That what we're really trying to do is change it into this. And you can't do it. It can't do it. They have to both exist. Because all possibilities, all probabilities have to exist. We are all that is. And the only way to change anything is to focus upon where you want to be and then pull it into your experience. And then your experience will magically, so to speak, become the other side. But it does exist. You see? Just like this side exists and this side exists, and then they can flow together. It's a closed circuit. We're creating circuits in this world. That means all potentials exist. If you close your eyes right now and imagine anything you want, it's a real place. It's a real dimension. It's real. You're experiencing and you're visualizing something that is absolutely real, not something that is just made up. There's no such thing as made up. All potentials exist in different dimensions, different places, so to speak. You see? And the more we understand that, the more we recognize that there needs to be a negative place. It needs to exist. We can't change it. There's going to be a place where the body hurts. We can't change the body in order to feel better. We have to change or pull in that other area where your body doesn't hurt. And then your body will transform into a body that doesn't hurt. Do you see? You can't change the physical world. You have to change how you feel. You have to change your vibration. You have to change. And the best way I've learned how to do this is to focus on that positive aspect, because the more you recognize negative cannot exist by itself, it's impossible. You can see it. You can experience it. Somehow we can forget this world here exists. That's possible because it could be in the invisible, so to speak, the energetic area. But this world is an unfolding. All aspects of creation are unfolding in your life according to your vibration and according to what you're asking for from the inside, within. This is what Jesus is trying to say. You cannot change this world. You have to change how you feel about it, and then you will pull in a new experience, a new world, so to speak, a new potential of your life. And you're going to continue living all these different potentials until we all realize that. So you'll continue in this place where there's body pain and there's issues and there's separation, which just means separation in your life, looking at a lot of negative, looking at what's missing in life without understanding the positive aspect. And we will have to experience that. That's our journey until we realize that there must be another side. And then we start recognizing the positive. We start recognizing there's well-being too. So if you're sick, there must be well-being. If there's a world of sickness, there's a world of well-being. And then you get to choose which one. But if we're stuck in a world of sickness and we don't know there's a world of well-being, or we think well-being's outside of us somewhere else, then we can get stuck there for a long time. Everything is within. Everything is within. So the best way to do this that I have learned is to bring the positive to the negative. We must learn to change our focus. Abraham says, you came here in this dark, so to speak, low vibrational world where negative is very prevalent, and it can certainly take over your mind, and that mind activity bringing you down, crushing your spirit. But she goes, you were master focuser. So you knew you could focus on what you wanted. You knew you could focus on this other side. And that's the key to this. The key is to let go of our focus here. Just like if we were playing a video game and we had some of those darker levels, we're just trying to get out of the level. We're not trying to change the level. It will always be there. And that's the key to this. All these dark areas, all these places that you don't like, you can't change them. They will always be there. We have to graduate out of them, so to speak, right? For those of you that, we've been in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. We don't change 9th grade. We just graduate out and go into 10th, and then we go into 11th. Do you see? And that's kind of how this works. We'll live through that body pain until we no longer need body pain, and then we will graduate, so to speak. We will move into a new place where there's no more pain in the body. But we will not change our body in order to feel better. It'll never happen. It might feel like it, but it's not true. We need to change how we perceive pain, how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive our brothers and sisters, how we perceive our world. And that's how we let go of it. You see? And the way we do it is by recognizing that there is a positive world that holds everything that negative seems to be missing. Why? Because there's a wholeness. Jesus said, the Holy Son of God. What was he talking about? Holy, whole. We split them. And we created opposites. And then we started focusing on only one side, recognizing the other side didn't exist. And the more we recognize, no, the other side's still there. Even though we split our focus. If you look out in that world and you can say all the things that are wrong, but can you see what's missing? Because whatever you see that's missing must also be there. And then you'll look out in that world and you will see a holy world. Perfect. Does that make sense? You see, we're just seeing partial of it. If we saw the whole thing, it would look very, very, very different. So instead of trying to change that partial into something better, something I don't like, trying to change people or trying to change the body or trying to change my money or whatever it is, which is impossible because we'll be focusing on what's missing, right? So therefore, keep on bringing it in over and over and over based on that focus. Remember, we're master focusers. Instead of trying to change it, we recognize the other side. It must be there. It must be there. Make it a belief. It has to be there. It has to be there. Everything I feel like is missing, it has to be there. You look at your count, you see 5,000, you want 50,000. 45 has to be there. It has to be there. You cannot miss anything. It's just in another place. And guess what? Your inner being, your higher perspective, your broader perspective holds it. Your broader perspective holds that. That source energy holds that other side, that positive light shining on. That's why we hear positive light flowing. Move in this direction. Move in this direction. The only thing that keeps us stuck is our mind telling us we've made mistakes. People have made mistakes. There's sin. There's guilt. There's this. There's that. And the more we debunk that, no, I know that other side exists. Because negative cannot live without a positive. Just say it over and over. Negative cannot live without a positive. The more you understand that, even if you can't see the positive, then you just say, I'm seeing this wrong because I'm only seeing partial. And that's all you have to do. And then you stop and you say, but I know you can see it. What I can't see, I know you can. Where the body feels like it's hurting, I know there's a place of wellness. You see, if I feel poor, or lost, or broken, I know that you're fixed. I know that you're abundant and wealthy, and you are flowing. I know there must be the other side. There's no such thing as death. There's only life. There's no such thing as lack. There's only abundance. But in this world, those things will take you down quicker than anything. But the more you recognize there is another path. This is what Jesus was trying to say. Turn the other cheek, he says, there's another way. Don't let your house be divided, you see? There's another way. We're split. Our mind is split. And all we have to do is find that positive side and bring it to the negative. Bring the positive to the negative. Recognize it first and foremost. Boy, I feel this way, but I know you must be there. I know it. Even if it's just hope, I hope you're there. Hope is a good way to get to that bridge. It will turn into faith. I have faith that you are there. Until you do it enough and you feel those two come together, you pull that world in order to let go of that negative side, to bring them together, and you will see. Once you bring the two together, the negative side will disappear. But it will always be there until you bring that positive in. That's the way it works. You've got to bring these two together until they can become the Wujie. They can become the Tao, the one, that which has no opposite. But until then, this negative side is going to reign supreme. But if you recognize there's a positive side, I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to pull it in. That Holy Self has it. That Holy Spirit has it. It's right with them. I'm going to bring it in. and they're going to click together perfectly. Boom. And whew, everything's going to shift and change. You see, that's the only way to bring the Holy Spirit to the ego, to bring what is fixed to what seems to be broken, to bring the abundance to what seems to not have abundance or poorness, to bring well-being to what seems to be sick. You see, and bring the positive to the negative. I hope that helps. As always, it is my passion and pleasure to share this clarity and always to receive back. And of course, it is up to you what you receive. Thank you for following along. Much love to all of you. Hit the like button if it speaks to you and subscribe. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation on this wonderful journey that we are in together.